Ah, welcome traveler. Come in, take a seat and put up your feet. Today, we are diving into a game called Going Medieval, a colony sim city builder survival game, where we will be cooking up some roleplay to enhance the gameplay. This is part 11 in our multi-part series, and if you'd like to see more of this, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Let's get cooking.
Down by the river, where the old eagles fly, we dug in the earth, neath the steel gray sky. With shovels and pickaxes and songs in our breath, seeking the stone for our castle of strength. Through rain and frost, in the dead of the night, the torches were burning, our hearts full of might. We chipped at the cliffside, each hammer blow rang, echoes of future where the proud castles stand. Through rain and the frost, in the dead of the night, the torches were burning, our hearts full of might. We chipped at the cliffside, each hammer blow rang, echoes of future where the proud castles stand. Limestone dream in the heart of our land, built with our hands from the quarry's grand span. Walls strong and tall where the banners will wave, a castle of old from the quarry we gave. Wildflowers grown where the stone once lay bare, whispers of legends cling to the air. With sweat and with labor, our tale will be told, of knights and their armor, of battles of old. From the rubble and dust, a fortress arose, with towers so high, where the west wind blows. In the flicker of torchlight, the shadows will dance, a testament built out of true happenstance. Limestone dream in the heart of our land, built with our hands from the quarry's grand span. Walls strong and tall where the banners will wave, a castle of old from a quarry we gave.
So as you can see, this episode is dedicated to getting the quarry up and running. We've gone ahead and excavated this piece of land over here, and from here we will go and dig a little bit deeper into these limestone deposits that are underneath here, to have specialized controlled areas where we're digging deeper into the earth to get to that precious resource inside that we need. Most of this episode will be dedicated towards the mine itself. This will be the first mine, and when we eventually run out of resources in this block, we'll look at moving up to here and digging this out as well. But that's not all we're going to be doing in this episode. We will also be looking at building a little bit more here on our castle, and we might look at building some additional areas at the bottom, right deep down in the earth on the same level as the cellars. We might construct what will eventually become the tombs and crypts of the settlement. It's a little bit morbid, so we don't quite need it yet as all of our settlers are still alive, but it is good to be prepared and to have things in case of eventualities which will occur. But for the time being, let's focus on getting our castle up and running. Let's get this well established. We have lots of layers to build still up and up as we go higher into the sky. But for that we will need that precious limestone. And that is why today is focusing on getting our quarry up and running. There is so much digging that needs to be done, and our map does not quite provide enough abundant limestone deposits. So we will need to dig it out of the earth. We will need to put in the work to get it out, to build our mighty castle that will dominate the landscape. We also have 2 new settlers that have joined us. Wilfred, over here, and Eleonora, over here. Hopefully they'll be very happy here at Hearthguard, and they'll be a fine addition to our community. We will need their help to construct our castle, and we'll definitely need their help to dig out the earth and get that limestone. I think we're going to go over and continue digging out the limestone over here, as we will need that to continue building our castle. I do want to try get this section here completed in today's episode, but that's being very optimistic with how much limestone we can get out of the earth. But right, let's jump into it. Right, so our settlers have finished off this section of the castle as well as the wall over here, enclosing this and creating a small little courtyard. And we've gone ahead and placed the next floor's blueprint as well. So what will essentially be happening here is we have the entrance over here, up a flight of stairs, going into a small entrance room, which we can defend if need be. That will then lead into a throne room and council room for visitors to come and greet our rulers of our settlement. Then through here will be the staircases that will go up to the rest of the castle, as well as a passageway here with a door leading up onto the ramparts over here and curving around back through here. Through this doorway as well, you can enter this room over here where we will place some armor stands on display and weapons. And further down will be the doors going down to the servants' quarters, as well as a door through here for the ramparts leading around here. Over here we'll set up a small storeroom with food and set up a great hall to entertain guests. This won't be for the servants to eat at, but more for visiting guests such as bards and so forth. And then we have staircases going up here, which will go to the rest of the castle, where we will start looking at maybe a library and some housing facilities for the upper class of the settlement. But for now, let's just have this set out. Let's get this wall over here built and filled in. We did also briefly mention earlier in the video that we would look at constructing the crypts. So to give you a quick breakdown of what's going on here, in order to make the construction of this a lot easier, and especially the excavating and not risking cave-ins, we've gone and actually dug out where the walls would be first, which we're going to fill in with bricks. Once these walls are completed, then we can come in and actually dig out what the actual passageways would be. So we would dig out the earth. So everywhere at the moment that you see earth, this would be dug out, and this would be filled in with bricks, creating the walls. Makes it a lot easier, so you don't have to risk cave-ins and so on occurring, which can be very problematic. Only thing to keep in mind is how you go and construct this. So in order not to have settlers essentially build themselves and trap themselves inside, you just have to go in and fill in all the little corners first, and then you can decide a side to start working from. So as you can see here, we've done a little bit of this side already. It can be quite tedious to build this way, but all we have to do is set that out, let them build it, and then we come back periodically to just add a little bit more, and we never have to check in that a settler has essentially trapped themselves inside and they end up starving in a hole. This is also not a very important part of the settlement that we're building. It's not in need urgently, so we can build this slowly over time. Another thing that we're looking at is actually expanding the cellars. We'll need some more space for food, and this is quite important. And we want to have places dedicated strictly for cooked meals. Mentioning that, up here, when we do eventually construct this room, we will set this strictly for cooked meals storage that can be used directly in this great hall that we're going to set up as well. But we won't worry too much about that for the time being. As you can see, we have forbidden the construction of all of this, but we can go to this wall that we had previously set up and just say allow for all of this. A quicker way to do this is just to go over here, make sure it's allow, and we just set this all the way to there, and now they will build all of these walls up. Once the shell is completed, we can go and just build that little space up there. And then once that is done, we'll just fill in the rest of the soil, and they will actually come up onto this floor and fill it in with soil, and again, not risk building themselves closed in a hole that they will just starve and die in. But right, we're going to just let this run, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we have another settler named Elota who is escaping from the disciples. It looks like they wanted to burn her alive and she ran away. I think that we will help them and welcome them into Hearthguard. Another mouth to feed, yes, but another set of hands that can help us continue constructing this mighty settlement. Let's have a look at her stats. So she's over here. She had minor laceration and a concussion. That's not major. We can quickly get that sorted out. She's good at smithing. She does not like fighting at all. That is a slight problem because we do always need to defend Hearthguard, but it's not a deal breaker. It's okay. We can deal with it. I would actually like to put someone onto permanently tailoring and crafting. So this isn't too bad. She has 9. We can look at letting that grow a bit. And what else? She's not great at much else. Intellectual, carpentry maybe. We'll see. We'll find a spot for her. A quick tip for anyone setting up digging operations. So what a lot of people do is they'll essentially go like this and they'll just dig out a large stretch of land. So yes, in your immediate thoughts, this seems like a good idea, but it's actually very bad because what settlers will do is they'll come and they'll stand over here, for example, and dig this piece out, and then dig that piece out, that piece out, that piece out, and that piece out. And then they're stuck on a dirt pillar and they can't go anywhere. Or worse, they'll come here, they'll dig out these pieces here, and then dig out the piece underneath themselves, and they'll fall down and be inside a hole and they can't get out. This is quite problematic when you're working in an area that's large like this, large open, because then they can't dig their way out to a nearby escape route like here. Here they just need to dig out one and then run along here and be out. So the solution to this is actually to do as follows. So now you have a large piece. I want to dig all of this out. So you go and you just do the perimeter for a start, and you leave one space open. So what your settlers will come do is they'll come here, dig this out, and just leave that one space. Then once they've finished with all of that, you just come and remove that one little space, and you'll have a large block of dirt that's now they can't get onto the top of it, and you're safe from them at least isolating themselves. An example of this, a much larger example of this, would be over here. As you can see, I've already removed the outer perimeter of this block of dirt, and I would just come in and just set that to being dug out. So the settlers will come here, dig this out. Now they can't get back onto the top of this. Once that's done, then I can go and designate the whole block to be excavated, and they'll work it from one side and get rid of everything without any danger of isolating themselves, trapping themselves, and then essentially being susceptible to starvation or cold, or possibly being the target if someone happens to attack in that time. Just a little tip for anyone wanting to set up mining operations. So we've been able to construct this much of the castle in this episode, but yet again we're running low on limestone and we don't quite have enough to finish up this wall. But that's okay, because we have at least finished these 2 rooms, and we can, when we have limestone available again, start construction on the next floor. But we're going to end off this episode the same way that we started it, with a mining montage. So let's head on over here. As you can see, we have prepared this area here, making use of that mining technique mentioned earlier. We just need to remove these 2 blocks over here, and then we can come in and remove as much of this as we want.
Down to the valley where the shadows creep, we dig and carve while the heavens weep. Hands worn raw, grappling the stone for the promise of walls and a kingly throne. Echoes of hammers in the morning mist, the limestone whispers through the calloused fist. Ancient spirits guide our weary way, layers of history come what may. Toll for the castle, rise from the dust, brothers in labor and stone will trust. Every strike and every groan reshape the world from cold gray stone. Beneath the wild sky, neath the elder tree, sweat and song in our camaraderie. Giants of rock fall into the spade, for glory, for honor, the plans we lay. Echoes of legends, the hero's might, blazoned in hearts with firelight. Echoes from an ancient lore, in sacred walls will forever soar. For sweat on brow and grit in breast, struggle we do, but never rest. In this quarry, our love runs deep, for dreams we've sown, for stone we reap. Beneath the wild sky, neath the elder tree, sweat and song in our camaraderie. Giants of rock fall into the spade, for glory, for honor, the plans we lay. Echoes of legends, the hero's might, blazoned in hearts with firelight. Echoes from an ancient lore, in sacred walls will forever soar. Sweat on brow and grit in breast, struggle we do, but never rest. In this quarry, our love runs deep, for dreams we've sown, for stone we reap.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. We achieved quite a lot in that we completed this whole floor of our castle, and we've also gone and set out the crypts here to be dug out and constructed. We've also expanded the cellars, and we've gone and set up a quarry to produce limestone for us so we can have enough resources to construct the next floor, which we've already gone and laid the blueprint out for. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as that would greatly help the channel. If you would like to be kept updated as to new videos being released, then please hit that notification bell. If you have any feedback, suggestions or requests, leave a comment below and let us know. Until next time, this is Roast Temp. Keep cooking.